So I'm going to tell you a spooky story, something that happened to me. And I'll leave it up to you to make the call as to what it means. So every single one of us has had that experience where coincidence feels like more than coincidence, right? Like a perfect example is the song you think of that comes on the radio. Oh my God. Or the friend, you haven't thought about them in 10 years. As soon as you think of them, phone rings, it's them. And, according to physics, there's nothing magical at all about that. It's 100% coincidence according to the laws of physics. However, it feels like more than that, doesn't it? Right. Almost everybody, even the non-believers, have that stuff happen. And there's a part of them that's like, ugh, I know it's coincidence, but it just feels, that felt weird. It felt weird, right? And now scientifically, people will say it's because you remember the hits and you don't remember the misses. So you don't remember all the times you thought of your friend from 10 years ago and nothing happened. The songs you thought of and they didn't come on the radio, which happens way more than the one time it does happen, but we don't take note of that. I mean, a perfect example was when I worked at the casino. There was this thought that when the stick person changed out, which happened every 20 minutes, that everyone was going to lose. And almost every gambler there believed this to be true. So, change of stick, people are turning their bets off. Like every time they change the stick person, we all lose. Which is not the case, not even close, but that's how you remember it, because you remember the times it did happen and it feels like it happens every time. Anyway, my point is, coincidence feels like it's more sometimes. And so either it really is just coincidence, because I mean, technically anything that can happen, as long as it doesn't defy physics, or anything can happen as long as it doesn't defy physics, no matter how unlikely. Like theoretically, I could walk towards my wall and then walk right through it. Theoretically. It's extremely unlikely, but theoretically, there could be a situation where every atom in my body misses every atom in the wall, and not a single thing collides, and I walk right through. So if something like that theoretically can happen, then, all coincidences can theoretically happen, but they do seem to happen more often. I don't know what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, that's the one option. The second option is that there's another theory that everything is predetermined. We have no we have no free will, but I guess that would also mean we have no goodwill, or we have no control over our goodwill, I guess. Which means, by the way, you can't judge me for anything I ever do because it was predetermined before I was born. Anyway, that's a conversation for another whole podcast. Let me just make a note to myself. Talk about free will, which was already going to happen 13 billion years ago. It was already decided that I, at some point, would have a podcast about free will, or the lack of it. Anyway, there's a thing called the block universe, which essentially says that everything already exists. My future is already just there. I'm just moving through this block universe. So theoretically, maybe those coincidences are not coincidences, but premonitions. Like maybe there's a glitch in the matrix where for a split second, you already, you have knowledge of what's about to come. for a split second. Maybe that's possible. I don't know. I don't have a degree in physics, and also everyone who has a degree in physics also doesn't know. It's all theoretical. But my point was, what's my story that has me like, all right, so I lean definitely towards coincidence and science. But when you hear this next story, I don't know. It leaves me saying, I don't know. So what happened was, get to it already, Dave. What happened was, I went to a Chinese restaurant, and the order was taking long. So the guy gives me a fortune cookie for the trouble of waiting, I guess. I don't know. So he gives me a fortune cookie. I crack it open. And fortune cookies have two things on them. Some sort of wisdom or fortune. And they also always have lucky numbers. These are your lucky numbers. Now, normally I just dismiss that because I know what it is. It's nothing. Some factory somewhere just spews out lucky numbers on fortune cookies. They mean nothing. But because this was given to me out of goodwill, right? Like he didn't have to give it to me. I decided it should mean more than it did. I don't know why, I just did. So because of that, I was like, you know what? I don't believe in the lottery either, but I like to play it every once in a while because, I mean, somebody's got to win, right? That's sound logic. Somebody has to win. Why not me? Which I always found ironic that people will believe that all day long, but they get onto an airplane, they don't have the same thought. They don't think like, well, somebody's got to crash. Why not me? Anyway, so I use the numbers. I buy a lottery ticket because why not? It costs $2. $2 to let me fantasize for a day about the story, which I now started crafting in my head of, wouldn't it be a crazy story if this guy's goodwill led to the lucky numbers that led to me winning the lottery? How cool would that be as a story? Plus, how cool would just $2 million be, or 30 million, or whatever it was I played? I played the Mega Millions, so we're talking like $30 million. All because this guy handed me a fortune cookie because I was waiting too long. So I started fantasizing in my head about winning the lottery, right? Which I do anytime I buy the lottery, but this one, it felt more important to me because of what I just said. You know, the goodwill from the guy, all that. So I believed it more than normal that, you know, I think I'm going to win. I didn't really believe it, but a little bit. I was a little bit on the, I don't know, if it was going to happen. If this world is a block universe and everything's predetermined, well, then this guy had to give me the ticket or the cookie with these numbers. Otherwise, how could I possibly have won the lottery, which I was already predetermined to do since the Big Bang, I guess. But on top of just believing it a little bit more than I should, it was one of those weird days where coincidences were happening that seemed like more than coincidences, right? Little things, but they had more significance in a day where I was already tallying up what I was going to do with all my lottery winnings. So anyway, that's how I spent the day. It was fun. And at the end of the night, check my numbers. And of course, I didn't even hit one number. So much for the goodwill from the guy at the Chinese restaurant. All of it meant nothing. So that's a shitty story, Dave. What were you talking about? This is where it gets spooky. This is where it gets spooky and where I'm a little inclined to believe in something maybe more than coincidence. Because I did not win a single number, but I have a notification from a lottery app that it sends me these like little news clips of people that won. Normally not worth even looking at. Like some 21-year-old in New Jersey just won $241 billion. I wonder if he's going to destroy his life with that. But I open up my mail. The following day, Crestwood woman wins Mega Millions. Or no, it didn't say woman. It just, Crestwood, in my head, it was a woman. I don't know why. Crestwood resident wins Mega Millions. Okay, so Crestwood, Illinois, is not a big town. The gas station that this woman, who I've just decided it was a woman, bought the ticket is walking distance from where I live. Now, it's not where I bought the ticket for mine. I bought my ticket at a grocery store. Why didn't I go the other direction? But where it becomes more than coincidence for me is already the odds of if I woke up every single day for the entirety of my life and said, somebody in this town is going to win the Mega Millions lottery, the full jackpot. I could do that every single day and there would never be a winner. I bet if I go through the history of every person who's ever played Mega Millions in this town, that was probably the only winner to ever have won. Like if you ever want to, just for fun, see how impossible the lottery is, take your favorite numbers that you like to play, and Lotto gives you a website where you can check all the history of all the winning numbers. Go ahead, punch in your numbers, check the history for 20 years and see, would you have ever won? And maybe you would have won $500, maybe $5,000 in the entire history of the 20 years of playing. But so, likelihood of anybody winning in a small town is pretty astronomical, but somebody winning the exact same day that I was convinced I was going to win? And it's not like I walk around every time I buy a lottery ticket convinced I'm going to win. Like there are people that definitely do that. And they probably should get to some sort of support groups because, you know, they're spending hundreds of dollars a day on lottery tickets. This, normally my belief is just sort of a, yeah, maybe it'll happen, but I know it won't. This one I believed a little more than I should. And for it to hit that exact same night in my exact same town from a gas station, walking distance from me, I don't know. I mean, I know scientifically just a coincidence, but man, what a coincidence. Like that's up there. That's up there. So, I don't know. I thought I'd share it. I don't know what it means. I don't know. I like to believe there is a God. He 100% meant to bestow me with the lottery winnings, which is why he gave me the cookie with the numbers. But right as he was about to send that energy towards me, he got distracted or he sneezed or whatever God does. He's like, here you go, David Dravnak. I know it's been a hard life, but finally it's going to pay off. Got you. Oh, no, I guess that woman's going to get it. It's all the same to me because I'm God. And also, fuck you, David Dravnak. You don't really believe me anyway. So that's what happened. And yeah. Take it for what it's worth. I don't know. It won't change my life much.